Dawn on the Tanzanian savannah arrives not with a clamor, but a whisper. Here, the jarring symphony of urban life, car horns blaring, engines roaring, is replaced by a profound, ancient quiet. The only discernible sounds are the dry wind tracing its path through the thorny acacia bushes, carrying with it the faint, almost imperceptible chirping of savanna birds. The air itself feels pregnant with the promise of the day, yet the human presence, that of the Hadzabe hunter, is utterly silent, his arrows held with a stillness that belies their deadly purpose. Silence. Absolute, encompassing silence. From the very first steps taken into the nascent light, it becomes strikingly clear that this is a hunt utterly unlike anything a modern mind might conceive. There are no shouted commands, no predefined assignments, no elaborate, spoken plans meticulously laid out. Yet, with an uncanny, almost instinctual synchronicity, every member of the group understands their role, their purpose, their next move. Their communication transcends language, rooted in generations of shared experience and an intimate reading of the landscape. A subtle sign. One of the hunters pauses, his gaze fixed on the earth. A patch of freshly disturbed soil, barely discernible to the untrained eye. Then, a faint, sharp scent carried on a gentle breeze confirms their suspicions. It's a signature, a trace left by their quarry. One of them points down to the fine sand, a silent signal. When the lean hunting dogs, their senses acutely tuned, detect the animal's presence, the atmosphere doesn't erupt into chaotic barking or frantic pursuit. Instead, they move with a graceful, almost ethereal lightness, their steps barely disturbing the ground. The group mirrors this exquisite caution. Even the snap of a single, brittle twig underfoot is enough to bring the entire formation to a halt, every ear straining, every eye scanning. Out here, in this unforgiving domain, one misstep, one moment of carelessness, can unravel the entire hunt, or worse, put lives at risk. While meticulously tracking the wild boar, the group suddenly slows, their collective rhythm shifting. The air changes subtly, a scent, a feeling. A cheetah has passed through this very spot, leaving its invisible mark. There's no hint of panic, but an immediate, heightened alertness ripples through the hunters. A cheetah, a formidable apex predator, rarely seeks confrontation with humans. Its prey consists of the swift and agile impala, hare's smaller antelope. Yet when two different species of hunter find themselves on the same trail, pursuing the same resources, the unspoken tension of competition is never far away. It's a primal understanding of shared territory and the delicate balance of the wild. The moment arrives, swift and decisive. With barely a sound, an arrow leaves the bow, propelled by a short, practiced motion, a blur of wood and feather cutting through the air. The boar, startled and injured, bolts into a desperate sprint, then, its energy waning, it slows. The Hadzabe hunters move in, not with triumphant aggression, but with a focused efficiency. If necessary, they swiftly close the distance, ensuring a quick and humane end to the hunt. There is no desire to prolong suffering, no room for wasted energy or unnecessary cruelty. The act is one of sustenance, of necessity, not sport. Later, as the evening wind begins to stir, carrying the cool air of dusk, the rich, savory smell of wild boar meat roasting over glowing coals begins to spread across the savannah. There is no formal table set, no rigid hierarchy, no precise counting of portions. Meat, still steaming from the fire, passes from hand to hand with the fluidity of a natural reflex. Here, sharing is not a moral lesson taught in childhood, nor a virtue preached from on high. It is the fundamental condition for the group's very survival, an ingrained instinct as vital as breathing. Each person takes what they need, knowing that tomorrow, their contribution might be the one to sustain the others. The Hadzabe do not live to carve grand narratives or recount heroic tales of individual triumph. They live simply so that tomorrow, the sun will rise, and they will still be there to witness its warmth, to continue their ancient dance with the land. Perhaps the most profound lesson gleaned from their existence isn't merely how they hunt, but the deep, almost spiritual understanding that compels them not to chase more than they truly need. In a world that relentlessly whispers, then shouts for more, always more, can one truly dare to experience a single day lived with nothing more, and nothing less than enough? Type the word, enough. If you, too, feel the quiet yearning to live a little lighter, a little freer from the endless pursuit. And in the next captivating chapter of their story, I'll take you deeper into the incredible resourcefulness of the Hadzabe women, as they meticulously dig for water during the brutal dry season, a profound journey where the purest joy can spring from nothing more than a thin, precious stream of water seeping patiently through the desert sand. Oh no, they're eating. Come on! Come on! Come on! We, in the modern world, are rigorously taught that progress is synonymous with mastering time, planning for tomorrow, preparing assiduously for the future, managing every minute. But if there exists a community, one that has seemingly never learned to manage time, in our conventional sense, yet has not only endured but thrived for tens of thousands of years without collapse, without losing its profound connection to itself or its environment, then perhaps, just perhaps, the problem lies not with them, but with our own rigid definitions of progress. Nothing. The Hadzabe do not plan a hunt in the way we typically envision. There are no detailed maps, no scheduled rendezvous points, no strategic briefings. Instead, they read the forest through a tapestry of sharpened senses and an immense wealth of accumulated experience passed down through countless generations. Every rustle of leaves, every footprint in the dust, every shift in the wind, every call of a distant bird is a piece of an intricate puzzle, instantly understood and integrated into their silent pursuit. To truly grasp this way of life, you don't need complex theories or academic papers. You only need to follow them for one day. One perfectly aimed arrow, one truly shared meal, and a way of living that is never hurried, never rushed, always in harmony with the natural pulse of the world. This is the story of the Hadzabe that we are so privileged to share with you. No one speaks loudly. No one issues directives or orders. In their presence, I learned to walk more slowly, to consciously avoid the brittle crunch of dry branches underfoot, to feel my own heartbeat quicken and rise within me. Not from fear, but from a strange, profound sense of awakening, an awakening to the intricate life around me, and to the deeper rhythm within myself. Move. You. When the prey finally appears, the decisive moment, the culmination of hours of patient tracking, arrives with breathtaking swiftness. The arrow is released, precise, silent, and utterly final. Here, hunting is not an achievement to be celebrated with ego or boastfulness. It is a necessary, sacred act, an integral part of their very existence, and a direct engagement with the cycle of life and death that sustains them. Later, while the sweet aftertaste of wild honey still lingered on my tongue, we passed by a low-lying water area, and the very air around us seemed to shift, heavy with a different kind of life. To the Hadzabe, the enormous, powerful hippo that emerged from the murk was not perceived as potential prey. Instead, it stood as a silent, formidable reminder of limits, the boundaries of their own power, the profound respect for other creatures, and the understanding that not everything encountered in the wild is meant to be taken. In that singular moment, a profound truth crystallized for me: the Hadzabe do not conquer the forest. They live by knowing precisely when to stop. Not everything encountered needs to be harvested, not every challenge needs to be overcome, and certainly, not all strength needs to be proven. Their wisdom lies in restraint, in coexistence, in understanding that they are but one thread in the vast tapestry of life. A Hadzabe hunting day rarely concludes with only meat. The forest, in its boundless generosity, always offers more than one path to sustain its people. On the quiet journey back to camp, we pause beside a venerable, tall tree, its branches reaching skyward. The Hadzabe, with a centuries-old knowledge, harvests honey with the invaluable assistance of the honey guide bird. This is a magnificent example of a symbiotic relationship that has thrived for an immeasurable span of time. The bird, with its distinctive call, leads the humans to the hidden treasure. The humans, in turn, carefully take the honey, leaving a generous portion for their avian guide and ensuring that the rest belongs to the resilient forest. They skillfully light a small fire, creating a plume of smoke to pacify the bees, and then, with an almost effortless grace born of ancient practice, they ascend the tree. The rich honey and fragrant beeswax are shared immediately, right there at the base of the tree. The act of sharing is so deeply ingrained, so utterly natural, that you don't witness anyone explicitly giving or receiving. Everyone simply has their portion, without a thought of private ownership or hoarding. This even distribution of vital energy is not enforced by rules or regulations. It is simply how they have always lived, an intrinsic part of their collective survival and communal harmony. The harvested prey is prepared using the most elemental methods. There's no elaborate cookware or specialized tools, only the ancient trinity of fire, expertly wielded knives, and generations of inherited experience. They roast and meticulously divide the portions directly on the sun-baked ground, ensuring that no one receives a better piece, no one is favored. It is a testament to their egalitarian spirit, their deep-seated understanding that fairness is not a luxury, but a necessity. On board. Yeah. I did not take away any single great lesson, no singular epiphany that could be neatly packaged. Only that when I closed my eyes and vividly recalled the calm, unwavering gaze of the hunter after his arrow found its mark, or the unbridled, infectious laughter of the children, their hands sticky and bright with honey, I feel something within me soften. It's as if, in the span of one short, extraordinary day, I learned how to listen to the subtle murmurs of the forest, and to the quiet, insistent voice of my own true self, just a little better. In a world relentlessly driven by the insatiable question, what more will we have? What else can we acquire? The Hadzabe, with their profound wisdom, seemed to ask only one thing. Is this truly enough? Oh my God!